I was invited to talk something concerning about YooDeeMeeSook.
Yes.
For many of us, we may not really understand what is really YooDeeMeeSook. When we say happy birthday to anyone, many Thai people may not really know the right meaning. But you know that happy birthday means that we will say some happy birthday to some people. So it can be a noun, it can be a verb, right? Yeah? So in YooDeeMeeSook, actually it can also be a noun and it can be a verb. So when you say ขอให้YooDeeMeeSook, or just simply without a ขอ YooDeeMeeSook นะ that means I ask a blessing for you to have a nice life and to have a happy life. D means good. Suk means to have a happy and healthy and prosperous, like happy new year. Yeah? YooDeeMeeSook. Okay? Suk San Wan Sabato, the word Suk. Right? So we say that it's a coincidence to put a book with the name YooDeeMeeSook. But to us who are Seventh-day Adventists, a Christian, we believe that it's not a coincidence. It's the wisdom that God gives us. Right? I happen to work for the last 30 years. And then one day, when we calculate the time that passed by, it's time for retirement. Okay? So, before retirement, or at the time of retirement, we usually have a retirement party. Maybe some of you have attended some retirement party every year during September. Okay? When you come for a birthday party, you come for a wedding party, you give gifts to them, and the bride and the groom or the birthday ceremony will give gifts to you back. So it's my time, friends will come and give me some gifts during the party. And it's my turn to return the gifts. And usually they give you just a small keychain, a small things, and which I have those things on my table. But they do not give you any continuous message or things like that. So as I ponder on it, I said, why not I put something that I have in my head, put down into a book. And then I started writing the health message that we have been teaching in our church. So many of you know what are our health message. And many of you know what we believe, and many of you are practicing faithfully what we believe, right? But the word out there, do they know why we do it? Do they know why we have this kind of lifestyle? Why we sing like this? Why we eat like this? Why we dress like this to church? Why we don't put our short pants to church, but we wear our long dress to worship on Sabbath? Of course, those are not in words, but we know, we believe, and we will have in practice all along. Right? Okay. So these are Adventist lifestyle, right? So what are the things we need to give our friends that they will not prejudice to what we believe, right? Because here many of our friends are not Christians. So we want them to know, we want them to see that after some times, we who are as old as our friends, but we do not have diabetes, we do not have hypertension, we do not have heart disease, we do not have some of those things. But it doesn't really mean that with all our good practice, we will not get sick. No. But the chance to get sick will be less. Okay? Yeah. So let's remember, with all our health message, we will get sick, but we will get sick later. We will not get sick at 20. But if God willing, when we come to 90 or we have come to 100, our cells may go ding dong and we can have some sickness. Okay? But before that, we should have a healthy life. Okay?
Yes.
Since we are still in this world, we are still living in this territory, that we are transitioned to heaven. While we are here on this earth, let's have a healthy life that God gives us by doing something to a healthy body, and God will do the rest for our healthy body. And when I finished writing the book, it was a difficult task to put a title to the book. And finally we decided that I will put the word YooDeeMeeSook. I never knew that when I give the book to my co-worker, I give it to her, that it's like giving her a blessing. You have YooDeeMeeSook. So it's not coincidence, brothers and sisters. We can praise God for all the work that we have been doing. And during my work, I teach the students how to determine blood sugar. I teach a student how to determine triglyceride, cholesterol, which I think most of us know and we don't like. Right? Yes. But all we taught them was how to measure that in the lab. But then I asked my student, so what? When you get a sugar of 130, 140, do you have other things to tell your patient? And so this is the lecture, and this is the lecture that I give to my students for so many years. After these past years, not many years, but past years. And they are quite happy to see what I tell them. And today I took this lecture. Of course, I have been modifying this lecture to suit the church setting, to the children. But this is the exact lecture that I gave to my students, who are just at the age of 21 years old and were graduating in 1 or 2 years. So you can see that my topic for them was laboratory results in health and diseases. So shall we go on to see what I tell them? And that what I told them was really part of our health message. Because in the book that I wrote, 11th chapter, that book is good for non-Christians. Because I say nothing about Christianity in that book. But that book started with a very famous discovery by a researcher of the National Geographic. He found out that in this world there are several places where people have long lives, where they live until 100 and they are still strong and healthy. What do they do with their lives? Okay? So I tell them the modern day health diseases and how to prevent those diseases. So because as I told them, okay, so you can see that I told them the cause of death. If you will have long life, that means you do not get those diseases. And the top rate people like to die with is heart disease. Heart disease comes #1 throughout the world. So if you don't get heart disease, you can stay longer. So the next part, maybe cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and maybe other disease that can cause disability, so people cannot really work. So today we are not going to go deeply into diseases, but we will go and see what are the things that we can do. So with this, we said modern day disease. My question to the student was, were these diseases just happen in this world of ours? But to the historical record, it is not. The historical record tells us that in Egypt, there were all these diseases already. Why? Ancient Egypt, as we know, Egypt is in the Bible, right? And it's so ridiculous that the way they keep the dead people, they don't burn it, they don't bury it, but they put it into mummies. With these mummies were preserved until today. They use modern technology and they were able to find that mummies have all the diseases that we have today. Okay? So mummies have even the most important thing they found in mummies were mummies are really fat, big size. Yeah, mataba. Okay? They have big size. And they have all the diseases you mentioned in today. Hypertension they cannot measure. But cancer they have. Osteoporosis they have. Okay? And they have even all the bacteria, germs, and all the diseases they can find. Even that time have passed for 4,000 years, they can even culture and to determine those bacteria. Let's go to the next slide. And we will go to the next slides. With all these diseases, mummies have all the diseases. Let's go and let's see what happened to those mummies. Let's go. Yes, we will go fast. Okay. So from ancient time until today, what are people going to be sick of? So I just summarize that people will have heart disease. Okay. People will have hypertension. People will have hypertriglyceride. People will have high blood sugar. And people will have osteoporosis. And they will be aching here and there and all the problems that you can think of that you can see in the hospital. Okay? And moreover, people are malnourished. To us, malnourished are those African children who are skinny. But today, malnourished people are not usually skinny. Malnourished people are usually very fat. Okay? So, because we will see what happens. So let's go. Okay? Now we know that diseases are the problem. So, even in Matthew chapter 24 verse 32, Jesus said, remember, if the thief is going to come and steal, to come break into your house, will you wake up and wait for him? Yes, we will wake up and watch for him and chase him away. Right? So in Matthew, may I read? Yes. Please. Matthew chapter 24 verse 32. Now learn this. But notice that if the master of the house had known that now the thief would come, he would have watched and not allow his house to be broken into. Okay? So who is the thief for us today? The thief for us today are the diseases. Shall we wake up and watch out and don't let him break into our house? Do you want? Okay, let's go and see what we can do. Okay, let's go. So there are many diseases are preventable. Okay? Many of the diseases are preventable. So we don't mention about diseases that we cannot prevent. Accident cannot be prevented. Right? Those bad bugs that will come and destroy the organs in the body. Sometimes it's beyond our control. But let's see what are the ones that we can control. Okay? So the first things that we have to know is that some risk factor, and it's risk factor, those who are at high risk. Some are risk factors that are under our control. Some risk factors are beyond our control. Let's just understand a little bit what are the ones that are under our control. Let's go. Okay? So, what are the ones that we can control? Our food, we can control. Okay? We can control the way we want to exercise, whether you want to smoke, or whether you want to get fat, or whether you want to get diabetes, you want to get hypertension, or you want to have triglyceride in your blood, or lipids in your blood, okay, or cholesterol in your blood. And what is beyond our control? Oh, now I am born as a man. I don't want to be a man. I want to be a lady. No, that is beyond our control. Now I am 16. I want to become 16. So age is beyond our control. You get it? And it happens that I'm born into a family that have a hereditary disease. Can we control what we want to? No, I don't want to be born in this family. I want to be born in another family. That is beyond our control. Okay, so we are not talking about what we cannot control. We want to do what we can control. Okay? Okay, let's go. So one thing that really correlates with what all these diseases are the big size problem. Okay? But I'm sorry if some people are bigger size, no? Because they are born that way, or because they unknowingly they eat something, they become big, right? So it's not. So maybe it's beyond our control, but we can get it back to be under our control. Okay? So the problem is obesity. Obesity is being very fat, that is too fat. So is it because I am skinny and I tell you that fat is not good? No. No. It's a problem worldwide. No, it's the problem in a big country, like other country that is very rich. But I want to tell you that it is not a localized problem in a rich country. It's in many, many countries, even though they are not rich. So much so that even the World Health Organization defined that the obesity is a pandemic that is spreading throughout the world. And it can happen in both the developed and underdeveloped countries. Let's see what happened to the obesity problem. So when we talk about obesity, we usually have those big countries that have good statistics. But for Thailand, you cannot get a good statistic. Okay? But for Americans, the map of the American, according to what I researched, is that it is coming with the color of obesity becoming darker and darker. That means it's spreading almost throughout the country. Okay, let's see what happened next. Okay, we can see that even in some countries, they even make it into cartoon. And oh, you know, my country ranked #1 obesity. Because it's their big problem. Okay. Can you go just backward? Yes.
Women to refer?
The obesity problem is so serious that they even make a joke even with the flag. Okay? Let's go faster, even with the flag. Okay. We can see that even chairs have to get wider just years, the chair becomes double size. Okay? Let's go. So now, obesity is not good. How do you define the word obesity? So what? I'm fat, not your business. But do you know, when in the end, it will lead us into sickness. Okay, let's go. Usually, our weight will become heavier. Okay? And then we will get a little bit bigger with our what? Their stomach coming out. But in the end, you will get a word that they call metabolic syndrome. Have you heard the word metabolic syndrome? Have you heard? Yeah. Do you really understand what is metabolic syndrome? Yeah, in our choir setting, in our church setting, where we can sing good songs with 4 parts. They usually call this metabolic syndrome deadly quartet. Okay? Everyone will sing their part. Different parts. But when you sing it together, the song just harmonizes and it becomes a well-fitting metabolic syndrome. You get it? Okay? So it's a deadly quartet. That is not a beautiful song, but it's deadly. So how do you measure that? They say there are 5 points to the measure of this metabolic syndrome. These are, okay, let's see, what are they? Okay, first you must be obese. How do you make yourself obese? You have to measure many different types. But there is one that are measuring, that is one that can be measured by using your weight and your height in proportion. Put your weight up and divide by your height in meter 2 times. And you will get a number. Okay? Next, or you can just simply measure your waistline. Today we will not go into that. Maybe you can look into that and you can measure it yourself. Let's go. So if you will have a metabolic syndrome, there are 5 points. If you get 3 points, that means there is something wrong with what is going on in your body. Okay? Number 1, what is it? Oh no, we have body mass index first. Okay, if you use the standard for the Caucasians, we will never have obesity problem in the Asian country because our build is different. So for Europeans, let it say it's not more than 25. But for us Asian, you should get a figure of not over 23. Okay. Okay? So let's go to the next slides. Whether what number you have, you will have different sizes with this picture. Okay? Let's say the best is the first one. But if you have the worst, you have the super obese, is the last one. So we hope that we as a Christian, we will take care of our body so that we will not become obese with the number 5 problem. You can measure your waistline as well. For men, it should not be over 90. For ladies, it should not be over 80 centimeters. Okay, let's go. This is the big problem. You see that men usually have an apple shape. The lady will have a pear shape. Okay, and the picture that I showed you is the picture that I took when I went to America. They have real big problems there. Okay, so I'm not saying bad about America, but they are the model for us in many things. So some models are good, we will follow them, but some models are not so good, we we just not follow them. Okay? Okay, let's go. Go again. So what happens when you get fat? That means we are putting in more calories and we are using less. We will have excess calorie. But if we put less calorie than we use, we will not have enough. The best is that we have in and out almost equal. Is it okay? Now, let's see what we can do. Oh, you are saying things that are so far away. But no, even near us, even in Asian countries, we are having obese boys and girls very near to us. Okay, let's see what can we do. Have you seen this kind of commentary film video in YouTube? Yeah, please have a look into Big Meets Bigger. And you can go to Google and search Big Meets Bigger. And you can understand why that is a really health problem worldwide. Okay? Let's go and see. If you have problem, what shall we do? Shall we turn off the faucet and wipe the floor? Or we will wipe the floor as the faucet is still flowing. Okay? So we will have to know what is the problem. We will stop the problem before we start solving the other problems. Okay? Let's go. It's time for change. That's why we have the word new start. When I go lecture with the Thai people, I will tell them start is start log. New start is new. So we have to start log and new. If we do something wrong, we will have a new start. If we walk on the wrong way, we will have a U-turn. Okay? So this is our health message to many people. Let's see what health message can we go. Okay? Prevention is, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Let's go to the next slide. Do you know Dr. Ellsworth Graham? He was 94 when he was operating on a patient. I'm sure the patient that was lying on the operating table was much younger than Dr. Ellsworth Graham. I was very happy I was able to meet this doctor when he was really 90. Well, he was 97 when I met him. Okay, let's go. And I started talking about the Adventist health mortality, Adventist mortality study, where the research was ongoing and looking into the health of the Adventists who were practicing faithfully on their health message. And they found out that Adventists have a longer life. Let's see and they can add 10 years to their life just by simply exercising, eating vegetarian food, eating some nut, keeping the weight down, and do not smoke. They can add 10 years to their life. And this is the table that each practice will give added 1, 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and when they add up, they are outlive the ordinary California people about 10 years. So I went on to talk about New Start principle. That a good YooDeeMeeSook health lifestyle should have at least 8 principles. And these 8 principles came from Energy White Ministry of Healing, page 127. And when you put all that all together, it became a new start of nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, and what more? Temperance, air, rest, trust in God. And let's see, why do we have to trust in God? I will tell them that you can go to those icebergs. Icebergs are really big. Icebergs are big that we can organize